highly entertaining. And,
Are we live?
we're live.
Oh, live.
We're definitely live. Anyway, so I'm share with everybody. I'm having one of those days where nothing wants to cooperate, nothing wants to work, and I'm feeling a little angry.
Yeah?
Yeah. So, you know what we're doing tonight?
What are we doing?
We are going to take this lovely thing right here. We're going to expand it a little bit more. And I'm going to surprise one of my favorite little people tomorrow.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know why I say that?
Why?
Because one of my favorite little people has been wanting to do this with me for a while. Yeah, I got asked about it earlier today. It was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm just sitting here. You know how I'm feeling right now?
Yeah?
Do you know how I'm feeling right now?
Sorry, I am done with what I'm doing.
So,
So,
odd question.
I answer.
Yeah, this has like platforms in it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like little ramps leading up to where you want to go and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Should I surprise them by having the phones?
Most likely.
Most likely.
Most likely.
You really think they'd enjoy it?
I think they would love it. And what the end was for. You gotta remember, they used to Minecraft, and there's a bunch of shit to do in Minecraft.
Well, yeah, you're right. Well, if that's the case, actually, what we should do. We should remove all the big boxes first because the big boxes. Yeah.
Okay.
We gotta remove the big boxes because if you have the big boxes, it takes more than one shot to make it move.
What do you say?
Really?
Yeah, and see, you got me, and my mind is like racing right now, so.
Hi Josh, how are you doing? We are like super happy to have you tonight. Hopefully you're doing better.
Yes.
We have been like worried sick about you. No, we're talking about how everything has just been working against me tonight.
Not everything.
Oh, you know what I mean by that. Like everything I've been wanting to try to do tonight is just not working with me. At least until
Okay, well, tell them what it's about. We have decided to dabble with Bitcoin. And what she was doing was setting up accounts and linking accounts, and it was all like, nope.
it turned around.
Put your information in again. No. Try it again. No.
No,
No, we won't even let you get halfway through it this time. But try again, okay? Yeah, still no.
no, it was literally like, I'm thinking. Oh, he's good now. Yay!
Good.
We're happy to hear that.
Very.
Oh. Yes, we are getting into crypto. And we are getting into crypto.
Yes.
And
everybody can suck my dick if they have anything to say about the crypto that I decided to buy a lot of. Because I'm a visionary and I can see what's coming.
She really is. It's amazing.
No, okay, now stop and think about this. I learned about the stock market from a billionaire that made his billions in the stock market. Right?
Yeah.
So, what is the difference very much? I mean, is there much of a difference between the stock market and crypto? Other than the reason you're buying the ones that you're buying?
Not really.
Not really. And I've been following a few of them for a while. And watching them and seeing what they're doing. And I know everybody's freaking out right now because everything seems to be crashing. And, well, ebbs and flows. And, yeah, that's something that person told me was that it's gonna go up and down. Don't panic and sell the shit. You know?
Yeah.
And he also told me don't ever fall in love with a stock because you set an amount that you want out of it and you sell it and you buy another one.
And again, you're also teaching me about all this stuff.
Well, from what I've been reading and what I've been learning, it's pretty much the same. I'm not familiar with a lot of the cryptocurrencies, but the ironic reason that I chose the one that I did was because of the name. And it just resonated with me, and I was like, I've got to buy some of that. And then I found out, and this is going to give away which one it is, that it's being backed by Elon Musk. Now, I know the rest of the world thinks he's a fucking fruitcake, but I put my money on what he's putting his money on, thank you. And hearing what he wants to do with it, fuck yeah, buy as much of that shit as you can. And well, let's be honest here, it's 5 cents a fucking coin right now, so you can buy a shit ton of it for a very little bit of money. And this could very well turn into another Enron situation minus the scandal, hopefully.
Okay. This is what our favorite person says. Crypto is cool, but you have to take the risk to buy the new stock rather than buying the already high coins. Because if they're already high, they can flux out a lot more, and you could lose a lot more money. But if you find a new one and you can buy for sub pennies, you would be able to make a lot more if it sticks.
Exactly. And it's not that much money. I mean, hell. Okay, let's be honest here. We put in, what, $6 and got 95 fucking coins?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just an initial investment. I'm kind of checking it out. I want to see how it works out. And I just really like the name of it. I have a friend who had a dog named Doge. They never even named it. Its name was DOG, and they called him Doge.
DOG, yeah.
Yes. And I saw that, and I heard that. I was like, I've got to buy some of that. It just resonated, and I'm like, I don't know why the fuck something that's that old of a memory is popping up, but it was something that made me happy, so it made me want to buy it. And maybe that's the universe telling me, bitch, put your money right here. And I need to fucking listen. Right? And then I find out that Elon Musk is backing it. So yeah, I think I'm pretty... I mean, okay, there is the matter of the lawsuit going on right now where they're trying to get a class action suit against Elon Musk because they're saying that it's a ripoff, that it's useless, and a lot of people lost a lot of money on it. And okay, let's be honest here, it's only, what, like 5 years old? If I was reading correctly? Okay, so 5 years is still a baby. You gotta give it time. And well, let's be honest here, most businesses go out of business within the first year. If you make it to 2 years, you're special. If you make it to 5, you got a good chance of going all the fucking way with it. And that's just statistically speaking.
Well, you're right. You're absolutely right.
No, see, you know what I know about Elon Musk that the rest of the world hasn't figured out yet? And the only reason I know it is because A, I'm your mother, and B, I'm Leilani's grandmother.
He's autistic.
He's got Asperger's. And people with autism tend to be really good at one of two things: music or math. And he ain't a fucking rock star.
But look at it this way as well. If you buy sub pennies like we did back with Galaxia, I can't pronounce Galaxian.
Yeah, I've heard
At
that.
first, we spent $100 to get a few million coins almost.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that kind of money to invest in it right now, so I figured I'd sort of start small. You know, and that's how you do it too. It's like, okay, it's like the whole acorns thing. Okay, well, we've got a few extra bucks. Let's buy what we can right now. We got a few extra bucks. Let's buy what we can now. And yeah, I'm staying away from the bigger ones because, yeah, it's a lot of money to put into something that may not go up that high.
You know, but let's actually talk about. You said Asperger's?
Asperger's.
Mm. Isn't that?
It's a form of autism, yes. It's a low grade autism.
Isn't that something that we also believe that? Yeah.
And there's some very distinct features that are different between autistic children and children with Asperger's.
I've noticed. I've noticed one of them is they can't tell the difference in emotion.
Yeah. And she is constantly asking, are you mad? Are you happy? You can be laughing and giggling and she'll ask you if you're mad.
Yeah, you know, she's taught me a lot.
Well, and I don't mind telling her, no, I'm happy, because it's teaching her, okay, if she can see it and has the eidetic memory like I think she does, maybe eventually it'll register that one. But then again, you also grimace when you're in pain, and sometimes it looks like a smile, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're crying, it looks like a weird smile. So I could see how it would be difficult to decipher exactly what the emotion is without being able to understand them.
Stay away from Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think it's Ethereum or something close to.
Yeah. They both just took a big dive. But right now would be the time to buy them since they did take a dive.
I love this reaction. So, do you think that's big enough?
I don't know. Do you?
I think for right now it is for what I want to do. Because, okay, we're talking about Rome here.
Yes.
So-
English, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, for right now, I think this is okay to, like, start off with. So, for those of you who are curious, I like to make little levels for my kid to play. And
Jean is a little badass at fucking video games.
she is. It is.
You know, when people are being dicks to her because she keeps killing them because they're being dicks to her, I always want to go on there and say, be nice, you're playing a 5-year-old, you dumbass. And I figured that'd make them even more angry because a 5-year-old keeps kicking their ass.
You know, that's the funny thing about it.
Oh, I love it. People are like, there's no way that kid's 5 yet. That kid's 5. She has got great hand-eye coordination. But she's like me. She sees the patterns. And that's how she gets through a lot of it, is she sees the patterns.
You know what? We'll just make that. Screw you all, you're doing nothing for me.
You know that Lonnie does it that way too. That's why she'll listen to a song over and over and over again for like 2 days straight, a new song. And by 2 days of listening to it over and over again, she knows every fucking note of the song.
Yes. We got one of those kids.
Oh, we went back in time today with music, and she knew all the songs, and we haven't listened to some of them in a long time. And she was singing along, and that's one of my favorite songs, Grandy. I'm like, I know.
You know what I thought was the coolest thing ever?
What?
She, sat down with me and showed me how she mixes her Play-Doh.
Mm-hmm.
And then she looked at me.
She making colors?
Yeah. She was like, look, Mom.
Did she make a good color, or did she make brown?
She made purple.
Okay. Because we've been working on how you mix colors. That's what the whole thing with the Kool-Aid is. They can tell you how to make like a sunrise orange. I call it sunrise. It's like a tequila sunrise, only it's orange and red Kool-Aid basically. We get those little squirt things for them because they like them, and yeah. And then she knows that if you mix the purple and the blue, it makes almost a greeny brown, and if you mix the purple and the orange, it makes a red brown.
Yeah. Oh, she showed me that.
So yeah, she's like all excited about knowing how to mix colors at this age. I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Well,
I don't know, I think part of it is that I look at everything as a learning opportunity for the kids.
well, I started following your lead. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but
Hey, you know, one of the things I love
what?
is that Rowan is forcing me to learn about animals I never even knew existed so I can wear her out every day. Oh, look at this, Rowan. Oh my god, what is that? It's an octopus. No way. That octopus, that one ribbon octopus that lived in the deepest, darkest part of the ocean that's bioluminescent, it looks like a little ribbon rolled up and it's a fucking octopus. It was great. It was beautiful. I can't remember exactly what they called it.
I think it's even funnier when you show her the blue ringing octopus.
Yeah. We've been on a dinosaur kick lately. She told me her favorite dinosaur today.
What was it?
Her favorite dinosaur is the T-Rex.
Nice.
And Leilani's is the Triceratops. And they both went, oh, when I told them mine.
What's yours?
The Quetzalcoatlus.
Of course it's the Quetzalcoatlus.
But I think they have it wrong, what it's supposed to look like. I think it actually has feathers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that a descendant of it actually lived a lot longer than they thought they did. Excuse me. You want to know why?
Why?
Because of the Mayans. The Mayans had a god, right?
Right.
And the god's name was Quetzalcoatl. And it was a big, brightly colored, feathered bird. And basically he was banished, and that's why when the conquistadors showed up and they saw men riding horses, because they had never seen that before, they thought that it was Quetzalcoatl come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Quetzalcoatl that is the dinosaur is a 20-foot tall fucking bird that can take off flying from a dead stand and eats T-Rexes.
Do you see my, do you see my conundrum here?
Yeah, no, I don't get it, but that's all good.
It's floating.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I got a crazy idea.
Okay.
How? Okay. Let me.
No.
Okay.
Okay. That was easy.
I'm still gonna do it. No, you just
Grasshopper is learning.
gave me an idea.
Grasshopper is learning.
Grasshopper is learning.
My opinion, I mean shit when it's your project, not this.
Well,
Oh.
who the project is for.
Yeah, but it's still don't mean shit when it's your project.
True, but your opinion might help me.
It's kind of like a rapper telling me how to take pictures. Me telling you how to make a video. Okay?
Isn't necessarily. Just an idea.
No, I know how I felt that day, and I just smiled and shook my head. Yep, yep, yep. Thank you.
Kind of like I just did to you.
Uh-huh. Hey, who knew? Maybe he knew something I did.
Oh. Yep.
Right? Maybe you know some really obscure fact that I don't know. And maybe you'll share that information with me and this whole conversation will be worth it. So that's the power of maybe. I love the power of maybe.
Turn around. Nope, I need this.
So, you got anything else interesting to talk about?
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Sucks, don't it? That's what you do to me half of the day. Now.
Really? You know what? Well, let's talk about how
Let's talk about Bruno. No. We haven't talked about Bruno.
We don't talk about my mom doing this shit to me. No. See,
I don't black sheep of the family. I ain't like the other ones.
what am I gonna do with her, guys?
Just love me. And then make me treat food.
She just wants to talk about Bruno.
I will spawn the first ant in a millennia. And we will take over the earth. Haha.
I almost hit that one.
See, I have plans for even after I'm dead.
Well, sucks to be you, because you're gonna become a tree.
Yes, and if I'm alive in a tree, I could become an ant. All I have to do is spend hundreds of years figuring out how the fuck to move.
Oh. I wasn't supposed to do that.
No?
So, does that mean I'm gonna get smacked even harder with a branch?
No.
I can see it now. I'm sorry, Mom, I did this wrong. Yeah, tree's gonna come alive and just smack the living crap out of me.
Why would I smack you? I have you riding up in my branches while we fucking took over the world. Oh, we're taking it back.
Maybe I don't want to take over the world.
Yes, but if I could awaken all the trees, wouldn't that be amazing? We would put the Lord of the Rings to shame.
I think you're right.
We live in the Rocky Mountains. Could you imagine all the trees in the forest just standing up and walking? Bye-bye! Fuck you and your mountains, motherfuckers! We're going somewhere warm!
She just wants to talk about Bruno.
think about shit like that?
Shockingly, I don't.
Wow.
I gotta go confused. Oy vey. You know how hard it is to come up with a level?
See, I think part of it is because when I meditate, that's the kind of things that I think about instead of like, it's like totally clearing my mind is futile.
Well, we don't talk about Granny no more.
Well, okay, considering the way that my brain works, it doesn't work that way. And I've learned that throughout my life, but there are certain things that have meditative values for me. Like when I'm behind the camera, it is just, I'm in my own fucking world. When I'm in the garden, I'm in my own fucking world. Actually, I'm in the bugs' world. Pigs allow me to visit. I guess they have no choice. I'm coming to destroy your home.
Oh, it fell off the edge. Did you see that?
Yeah, she's not paying attention. But you know, I think that's the difference between somebody that enjoys their day and somebody that dreads every moment of the day. Is that everything can be an adventure if you allow it. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, hell, some of the most fun we ever had was running around the fucking grocery store shopping. I freaked a bunch of people out. Why are you dancing? Cuz, why aren't you? Right?
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You know what I miss?
What?
I miss the days where we go. It was Kettle Hopping. Kettle Hop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss those days. I also miss the day when we played around with Red Rocks with corn.
That was the day of my sister's funeral.
Yes, but you know what?
That was the most fucked up day ever. And I scared a shit ton of people. We've already told this story, but my sister and I looked a lot alike, and I was late to the funeral because some asshole dropped a fucking soda pop machine on me, right?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Me don't.
And I walked up on the funeral right as they were letting the doves go, and half of the people walked away before it was even over. They like gasped and turned around and ran. I was like, wow, that's fucked up.
Probably because they thought they saw a dead person.
Okay, I'm sorry, but no. If you couldn't tell the difference between me and my sister, you needed to get your fucking eyes checked.
That's a lot.
Okay, first off, she had strawberry blonde afro. Okay? And I have dark auburn hair. How the fuck do you mix that up?
You guys hear that? She's talking about strawberry blonde afro.
Oh, she did. That was one of the things my sister always hated me for.
Why?
Because I had clear skin and beautiful hair, and she had oily skin and strawberry blonde afro.
Yeah.
That would never do anything, yeah. She always wanted me to do her hair, and I'm like, dude, I'm used to like hair that there's so much of it you can't deal with all of it, and you just like barely got anything on your head. And well, growing up, everybody reminded me all the time that Jennifer was much prettier than I am. She was the cheerleader, I played in the mud. I get it. Right?
Yeah. Well, everybody used to think I was going to be a cheerleader.
You could have been.
I disappointed a lot of people because you know what I did? Alright, so from 6th grade till 9th grade, I showed a lot of school spirit. Because, well, I loved my middle school, and I actually really enjoyed my elementary school, even though some of the teachers didn't. But who doesn't hate teachers, right? Well, freshman year, somebody told cheerleaders I show way too much school spirit. And one of them comes up to me and they're like, "Oh, you should join cheer." And they're like that. I don't know how to explain it, but just something just grated on my nerves. And they were just like, "Oh, you should come join cheer." Hurrah! And I'm just like, "Hell no! I won't join you." And I looked at them and I was like, "I'm not joining sweat team." I failed the physical for that because of the fact that I have degenerative disc disease, and I've had it since I was 14.
And they can take physicals to do sports now.
Yeah. They actually recommended I get. That was also when I found out that I was getting scoliosis too. Oh, it was great. It was so great hearing them tell me I could not join swim because of that, and I was just like.
See, and I was sad because my knee injury killed one of my dreams. At least it was when I was 15, right? Not 14, I guess. So I didn't spend my whole life working for it just to fuck myself up and not be able to do it.
True, but you know, that's also the other thing too, is that like I hate the fact that I used to have people tell me constantly how I was terrible at things, and it was just like, okay.
You know what? Who gives a fuck? When you first start doing something, you're terrible at it anyway.
Well,
natural talent only takes you so far.
Okay. When I am told I need to be more like my older sister, I will tell you something I told my band teacher. He told me that, and you know what I told him? Fuck you, and the year after that, I was in choir. And the choir teacher was so mad at me for leaving choir my senior year because I ran the soprano section. Like, I was his number one soprano. And if you caught me in a really good mood, I could hit higher notes than the other sopranos did. Well, the reason why I had to quit choir was because I had to finish some of my credits. I turned around and found out from like 10 different people, like, everybody begged me to go back to choir. They were like, "Please, Ray, just come back to choir. Please, 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 please." And I was like, I gotta finish my credits. And then, you ready for this? I found out I graduated with 5 extra. No, it was 7. It was 7 extra credits.
I graduated a semester into my junior year. If I'd have stayed the course, I walked into my junior year a credit away from being a senior. Because of the way that the credits from the school I started at transferred to the public school.
Yeah.
And I overloaded myself on classes. I took way more classes than I was supposed to. But I was like, I'm going to get this shit out the way. Because I know I need 4 years of English, I need 2 years of math, I need 3 years of social studies, and X amount of extracurriculars. So I took 2 English classes for a couple semesters. I did all of my math. Like, right off the bat, I'm like, fuck that shit, I hate math. I got my science out of the way, and when I walked into my junior year, all I had left was electives and English. So my whole junior year could have been a fuck off year, and I still would have graduated early.
See, and I just, you know, I don't get it. I really don't. So, you know about me taking college classes my junior and senior year. You know what always cracked me up about it? I taught myself Flash, which is a 2D animation software from Adobe. I would always finish my work early. Like when we were learning InDesign, me and the second year from the afternoon class would email each other because I was in the morning class. Well, we both decided that it would be funny to prove our teacher wrong. That there is a way for two people to communicate and be able to actually make a really cool project together, being in different classes. Yeah, the animated short thing we made, oh my goodness, we made fun of the first years for something. What was it? Oh my goodness, I can't even remember what it was, but it was hilarious because it was the typography. Because the first year you learn about doing typography, I made fun of the pen tool a couple of times.
You learn not to use Comic Sans.
That's the funny thing you bring up. The whole thing, like any speech bubbles, were in Comic Sans.
Fonts matter.
And the one thing that we were trying to teach everybody, and our teacher showed it at the end of the year, and I was so embarrassed because everybody was like, how on earth did you? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I took the Flash book home more times than I can count because her name was Kay. That was what she went by, but me and Kay would sit there and I would go after school because she was afternoon class, and we'd sit there and we'd go through the Flash book together. And she was like, I already got all my InDesign stuff done. How do we actually make this animation? And I was like, well, let's see, you gotta do this, do this, do this. And she was like, actually, and we drew out this whole little skit. And the graphic design teacher watched us do it. He sat there staring at me like, are you seriously doing this? And I told him at the end of the year, I was like, I only did this to prove a point. And he was like, and that is, I was like, next time somebody tells you they want to learn Flash, and it's someone in the afternoon class and someone in the morning class, now you know it actually works. And he was like, that's actually really cool. And that was...
Yes, but maybe with two other students it wouldn't have worked.
Well, true, and me and Kay were a little too dedicated to what we were doing.
And that's the point there, is that you guys were dedicated to learning it, so therefore you made it happen.
Well,
other students may not be so zealous.
Well, actually, that's the thing. When it came down to the second years, I got bullied a lot. And the teacher had to separate me and the other two second years in the morning class a lot. Because they would start picking on me, being mean to me, and I forget what it was, but I think the female said something really mean to me, and I almost went off the hinges, and I went back into the classroom because we were in the other room doing screen printing, and I went back into the other room and I told my teacher, I was like, I am leaving class, and I am not coming back until you handle the situation. And he was like, what happened? I told him what happened, and actually I got sent to the principal, and I was prime example of what happens when you get bullied, because I left class. I was like, screw this, nope, I'm done.
See, now, can I point something out here? This is something I keep trying to tell you. I get how everybody wants to make these grand gestures to make somebody learn their fucking lesson, but for somebody to learn their lesson, they have to give a shit to begin with.
Oh, the only thing I wanted was out and away. Out and away from everything. You know what I did? The day I walked out of class, I went to the principal's office, I sat there, and me and him had a nice conversation about bullying. And what most people don't understand is that, yes, I have been bullied most of my elementary, middle school, and high school life. So,
Can I ask you something? I'm just throwing this out there. How many people do you think got bullied during that time in your life?
probably a lot of people.
Yeah?
But, you know what, there was one thing you need to understand. I am still that weird little fucking kid that I've always been. And the cool thing about that is, I'm unapologetically me. I have my mental problems. I have the fact that I've finally just accepted everything. The fact that, you know what, I've actually come to terms with. You know what I've actually come to terms with? And you're going to be really proud of me for this. I know I'm bipolar. I know I have my manic episodes and I have my depressive episodes. But you know what I've learned to accept through all of it?
What?
That's just a part of me and who I am. Oh, fucking well.
So I don't want to get off this subject. You feel like bringing everything down with the sad talk, but I get it.
No, I am good.
Think of it this way. People that have such easy lives, or what you would perceive as an easy life, what happens to them when things go wrong?
They don't know how to handle it.
They don't know how to handle it. It's the end of the fucking world because nothing bad has ever happened in their world. Right? So maybe being teased and going through really hard times prepares you as a child to be able to deal with those things in your adulthood. Because this world is a very fucked up place.
Can I ask you something?
What? Yes, endlessly?
Okay.
Was that the answer?
I don't think that was the proper answer, but
Oh.
that gave me insight into,
Okay, well, if you were going to ask if I was teased growing up, let's just put it this way. I was 6 foot tall when I was 11 and had boobs, wore braces, and I'm a redhead with freckles, so you tell me. Oh, and I wore glasses. And I was overly smart.
do you have a train?
Yes.
I love the train.
So yes, I was teased endlessly. And you know what? You know where all those people that tease me endlessly are today?
Where?
Miserable fucks at the bottom of a goddamn bottle. Wondering why the fuck their life didn't work out the way they wanted it to.
Well, okay. Were you ever used?
What?
Were you ever used? To get close to somebody.
My brothers, my sister, the fact that we had a swimming pool, yeah. I had a very select friend group. I've always had very few friends because I don't trust people. Because if you have something that somebody wants, and I learned this at a very young age, that's what they want, and they will do whatever it takes to get that. And well, I prefer genuine people, so if you're genuine with me, then I'm cool.
See, and that's how I feel like.
That's why none of the normal shit that impresses bitches impresses me. No, you know what impresses me is
It
your
doesn't.
fucking soul. Show me what a beautiful soul you have and how you want to make a difference in this world and you have bigger aspirations than this fucking bullshit American dream. That's what interests me. Because you are the sum of the people that you hang out with. Right? If you don't inspire me, you don't drive me forward, and you don't help maintain my peace, you do not belong in my life. And that is my choice. It has nothing to do with what kind of person you are. It is my choice, the people I want around me.
Yep, see, it's even throwing fits at me too. You see this?
And well, you know what? If your opinion mattered, I wouldn't be saying this to you, so there is no conversation here. It is just cut and dry. This is what it is.
See, and I think I'm stuck between confusion and what's the other thing? Okay, you're right about one thing. I'm in one of my phases where I just want to fit in.
See, the problem is that people are willing to give up who they really are to fit in a society that doesn't even give a fuck who you are. You know what? There is probably 5 people on this planet walking around with the cure for fucking cancer in their fucking heads, and they're too busy drinking White Claws with their dumbass friends going down the wrong fucking path to give a shit.
Okay, I see it.
I have known very many brilliant people that went that road and destroyed their lives because that's what they were doing at the time. You can make bad decisions and come back from them. You don't have to continue making those bad decisions. I think that's a lesson that everybody needs to fucking learn. You can, at any point in time, stop yourself and say, this ain't who I want to fucking be, and change it. You know what depression is? Do you know what depression is?
What is depression?
Depression is knowing who you want to be, but not being able to be that person. It's being in a self-made cage. And that's why you're sad, because you want so much to give the gift of you to the world, but nobody gives it back. They want White Claws and booty calls. Right?
Hey, I actually kind of like money.
You know, after the shit I've heard from your generation, if any old man I get with from here on out has Pizza Hut in their fucking phone, I'm calling it off. Fuck Pizza Hut, okay?
Pizza Hut.
Oh, you don't get the reference to that. Some people might. I'm sure the guys will. There's a bunch of TikTok things going all over Instagram, and you know the reels and me, and I get sucked into that stupid shit. And yeah, the girl calls Pizza Hut to order dinner, and it's not Pizza Hut.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's cheating on her with him, and guys do that. Like my ex, but I think if I remember correctly, it was his grandma.
I don't mean to laugh.
And I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? Why you gotta hide it? Now, that's my thing. Why you gotta hide it? Why don't you just tell me what the fuck is up and let me make the decision whether I leave or go, or whether I stay or go? Because that's not fair of you to deprive me of that decision. And I am a firm believer, if you gotta cheat on me, you don't belong with me. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, my screensaver.
Sorry. Turned my face and see that. That was the funniest thing I've seen.
Oh, you know the girls love the pictures I chose for this.
Yeah.
And actually, some of them just ended up in there. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was. You know, sometimes it's good to see my work because I forget that I'm actually pretty good at what I do.
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. I'm no Ansel Adams, but. I can stumble my way around the camera.
You hear that, everybody? She's pretty good.
I'm not great. I still have issues with editing color. I think when I go back to shooting, I'm just gonna put everything out black and white, and color all together. I'm done fucking with your fucking lights.
If you do that, I am going to report it.
Now, some people I absolutely refuse to shoot because I know what the lights are going to look like, and I ain't doing it. I am not going to frustrate myself all night for one halfway decent picture. And there's venues I won't shoot at for the fact that there are lights too. I'm like, no.
Oh.
And I'm the nice photographer. If I go to a new venue and the lights are shitty, I tell the band, hey, look, I ain't gonna get nothing out of this. I'll stay and watch the show, but you probably don't want me to shoot because it would be a waste of money.
You told them that, huh?
Yes, I do. Why would I lie to them and say, oh, I'm gonna get some breaks? I know I'm gonna get shit tonight because these lights fucking suck. And well, you know, photography is light writing, so I kind of need light to do it. Kind of, just a little, you know. I got a good camera, but fucking hey, man, even it has its limits.
Okay. That works. You know, you're right about one thing.
What?
I can't tell you how to do your craft, you can't tell me how to do my craft.
Exactly. And what you know is minimal about what I do right now, even though you can stumble your way around the camera pretty good at this point. What you need to start working on is getting your images tap sharp. You capture good things, but they're all fuzzy. Which means you're not fully focused, or your focal point is off. Or you're panning and you're not panning right.
Nobody needs to know I know how to stumble my way around the camera.
Well, damn it! You paying my daughter, you better. I learned how to use a manual camera at 8 years old. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, they haven't gone manual yet, but yeah, they do pretty good with their little cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And my cell phone. I think if either of them is going to keep it, it's going to be growing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
She's just obsessed with taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great. I'm not mad about it at all. I'm like, dude, when you get older, we're going to have some adventures.
Granny's gonna take you to do some fun.
No, I'm going to take you to some of my favorite places. And some of them are kind of a hike, but if she wants to take the picture, she'll go.
I was about to say.
Well, there's this waterfall up off of 6th Avenue that I like to go shoot at.
Mm-hmm.
So where I got scared by the snake and ran screaming and then ran back right at it and took I feel so bad for that snake these days. I really do. It was just a garter snake. It scared the living shit out of me though. And fucking, I almost stepped on it and it moved and I'm like, what the hell? And then it moved and I'm like, ah, fuck, it's a snake. And I turn around and I start running the other way screaming and My friend's like, what is going on? What the fuck? Should I be running and screaming too? What the fuck is wrong with you? And I look at her and I turn around, still screaming, mind you, and run back up to the snake and lean over and take 3 pictures of it before it screams the fuck away because I'm still screaming. And as soon as it's gone, she's like, what the fuck was it? A snake.
How'd you feel after that one?
Oh, that was one of those fucking nether moments. You know, I have a lot of those, it seems. Yeah, that's the day we found the deer bones, too.
Nice.
And that was the day that I ran down the cliff to take a picture of the rock on the water. And then it ended up that I liked the picture I took at the top better.
See everyone. Everybody wonders why my life's here I am.
Hey, you know what? A dance to the beat of your own fucking drum. Because what else are you gonna do?
Blinded by night.
What are you so? You know, I used to love that song when I was a kid. When it first came out, I used to sit and wait for it to come on the radio.
Exciting.
And then you'd hear it, the starting of it, and you'd be like, ah! And then you get so excited you forget to fucking listen to it.
You know what song I like? That would rip like I can see you, breaking under the sun. I forget that. When we're alone, I can see my feelings special.
You know, that's one thing that young people should be thankful for. You guys have had exposure to so many different kinds of music.
Yeah, we also have one genre we absolutely just can't fucking stand.
Now, I'll tell you what, the only thing that I will not tolerate around me these days is fucking EDM. That shit just breaks my last fucking nerve. It's just noise to me, I can't do it.
Yeah, we have a problem there.
Hey, do you want to listen to me right here?
No, it's not me.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. And that's her prerogative. That and I'm constantly hearing Spanish music.
Which kid?
Both of them. I think it's great. I think it's fucking great. Reminds me of your younger sister.
You know, it's funny you bring that up. Because I heard it the other day. I had to join in, and I had a blast.
Oh, shit. I see. Okay, what you need to understand is that my sister-in-law is Peruvian. So I was exposed to all of that, and I understand more than I'll speak. Because I'm not sure that I'm pronouncing it right, and I don't want to offend anybody. Yeah, damn my upbringing, right? I don't want to offend you with a misconceptions. Yeah, with my words. But I learned a lot of Spanish because they only spoke Spanish in their home. And I learned a lot about the culture. And I actually learned how to salsa dance when I was like 15.
Oh, it's so expensive. It's a lot of fun.
I did too.
Goodness gracious.
But yeah,
Oh, if you move your butt any further, you're going to turn my computer.
I've always like the salsa music. So it never really bothered me when Your sister would play it.
Would you randomly hear it?
No, it was the funniest thing because she would wait till nobody was in the room. And she's like 5 years old at the time. And our neighbor across the street used to play music like that for her all the time. Because the kids would go over and play with his kids. And they played the music for her, and she got to really, really like it. And he was teaching her Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And she'd come home and wait for everybody to be out in the living room, and she'd go in the bedroom and she'd shut the door, and the next thing you know, all you're hearing is boop, 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 boop. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
It's funny.
Oh, she used to think I used to love that. I was like, no, that's awesome. You listen to what you want to listen to, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. She also wasn't bashful about it either.
Well, and I have to admit that in the past 20 years, my musical tastes have expanded quite a bit. I think more so since I started doing the photography thing because I've been exposed to so many different genres of music. And I found a lot of stuff that I really like. And of all things, what was the one kind of music I would never listen to before I started doing that? Because EDM wasn't a thing then. Well, at least not in my world. I wouldn't listen to rap music. I didn't understand it. I'm sorry. I am a fucking...
I don't mean to laugh, but you shoot rappers for a
I am a
living.
suburban white girl, and I was raised in a suburban white neighborhood. I don't understand the lingo. I don't understand the plight of these people, and I had to accept that. You know, it was fighting everything that I was taught as a child to not be critical of it, but what I eventually came to is I just don't understand it. That is a culture I have not been privy to, so I cannot understand that music.
We need to pass this.
But I'll tell you what, honestly, if I went for my doctorate, I would have a great fucking dissertation.
I need to find something.
You think?
Yeah.
And it's not often that you get to be completely submerged in a subculture. They probably hate it though because I'd explain how, you know, things aren't always what they seem, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the most caring, genuine people I've ever met came from that subculture that everybody likes to hate on so much. So we're talking anthropology and race and shit.
It's not that I hate it, it's just, how do I understand it? It's the study of people, isn't it?
Yes. But it's more than that. It's also the study of society, and primatology falls in there also, which is the study of evolution, basically.
Yeah, then everybody's just talking about primates now. I'm kidding, but yeah, people confuse me.
Well, okay, the problem is that there is so much information out there, and how do you know what's real? When you've got 10 different conflicting things about the same thing, how do you know which one to believe?
Mm-hmm.
You believe which one makes sense to you, which may not necessarily be the right one. That's why history and studying history is so hard, because it's open to interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like me and. What is going on?
It's also part of why I hate text messaging people when they're mad at me. Because you don't get the feel of what they're saying through words that are not spoken. And your words can be mistaken for being taken a different way than what you actually mean them. So actually verbally speaking to each other is the best way to do it, because then you can hear the fluctuations in their voices. You know, I was watching this thing, and it was actually quite interesting, and it was talking. I thought it was really cool, because I totally get it. I totally fucking get it. And this is where I was so glad that I was a tomboy. But I was watching this guy, and he was talking about how women entrepreneurs are less likely to share their ideas until they are completely done and perfect than male entrepreneurs are.
I'm getting. Sorry.
And do you know why? Okay, it's really funny because it goes into anthropology and psychology, which I think you'll love. Is because as boys and little girls, we are taught what? The boy is supposed to ask the girl out. The girl is supposed to make herself desirable. The boy is supposed to make the first move. The boy basically has all of the control in it, right? And if we don't get asked out, we don't go to the dance, and we get used to the disappointment that way. Well, what that does, psychologically, is it prepares a man to understand that you've got to keep trying and to prepare himself for failure. Whereas women, we are taught to wait around and make ourselves pretty. Right? Make sure that we are perfect before we approach it. Right? Okay, well, not everybody does. That's the box. So think inside the box for a minute.
I don't
Do you see the scenario, though?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what's going on is that the reason that men are more willing to do that is because that is what they have been taught their whole lives to do, to go after what they want and to not be afraid of rejection. Whereas women are taught if we are not perfect enough, we are going to be rejected. So if it's not perfect, we don't do it because we're going to be rejected, and we've never really been exposed to being rejected like that. Well, okay, they threw another little wheel in this cog, which I thought was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, and nowadays, we live in a swipe right dating app fucking society, so nobody's getting those skills anymore. That's an interesting take, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to talk about this stuff anymore. No, I just thought it was interesting.
No, it is interesting.
And
Sorry,
no,
I
it
just.
doesn't go for you. I know you weren't raised like that. You weren't raised that if you were raised to take, do what you want to do, make mistakes, learn shit, right?
See, and like. I have my moments where I enjoy getting balled up a little bit, or like sometimes I like wearing picnics.
Yes, but that's kind of a side play. You get what I'm saying?
But okay,
It's a dying skill because of dating apps. And I get it because I do understand that mentality because I have that. It has to be perfect before I will even pitch the idea to somebody.
Well, that's where we're two different people.
Yes, but I was raised differently than you were. Obviously.
Well, let's talk about this for a minute. You ready? I'm getting angry. I'm getting very angry. Because it keeps deciding. Unreal Engine 5 still has some stuff that needs to be worked out. So I'm kind of angry that it keeps freezing on me, and I'm just like,
Yeah. So while it's frozen, you want to talk about what I was just talking about?
okay, let me ask you this. Why would I have to get it all done?
Well, okay, you're missing the point. See, you're still thinking like everybody else right now.
Yeah.
The fact is that are you prepared to continually go after what you want, even though you know that you may face failure and rejection?
You know what? What is insanity, Mom?
Okay, well, that has nothing to do
What
with
is
it.
insanity, Mom?
Okay, but that
It
has
does.
nothing to do with
It does.
No, it doesn't. We're talking about wherewithal. Do you have the backbone to carry yourself through basically a living hell to get to what you want?
Yes,
There
I
you go.
do. But then again, you know how stubborn I am. I do the
Yes.
same thing 1,000,001 times.
It has nothing to do with stubborn. It has everything to do with being able to pick yourself up by the bootstraps when you want to quit so fucking bad you can feel it in your very soul that you know that you would never fulfill yourself if you did.
You know, that's how I feel about it.
It's about finding a way against all odds. Finding a way up, around, over, under every obstacle that's in your way. But most importantly, keeping true to who you are and not changing in the process. You know, I still want to get him a kick drum. So when he does that, boom, 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 boom.
Can I buy one?
No, that would make me nuts. I was just being silly. But see, and that's the thing, is that people have a misconception of what it really takes to do it. And the number one thing that it takes to do it is commitment.
And self-control.
You stop thinking that you could possibly fail. Because you are either going to win or you're going to learn, so you never fail until you quit. And that is the mentality that makes great people. Not, oh, I don't even want to try it. Oh, I tried it for 5 minutes and it didn't work, so I'm done.
No, I see that. I've seen it a lot.
Oh, I see it a lot. I see it every year with photographers. I see it every year with musicians. There is a brand new wave of photographers every year. There's a brand new wave of fucking musicians every year. And some people stay and some people disappear. And that's just how it goes. And sometimes life just takes people in different directions.
It does, doesn't it? Like, I've noticed that, like, I'm feeling that. How do I explain it? You know that feeling when you're doing something that you've always wanted to do, and then, like, you see other people, like, I wish I could do this, and you're just like,
No, because it took me at least 7 years to realize that I was actually doing what I always wanted to do. It always felt so unreal to me. I really, for 7 years, I refused to call myself a professional photographer because it was all too unreal to me. And then I woke up one day and I'm like, holy shit, I'm staring at my fucking living collage that is my entire wall now of pictures of people in bands that I've taken pictures of, and several of them who I personally know and absolutely adore. And I was like, what? I'm a fucking professional photographer. That's how it happened with me. It was like I woke up one day and I'm like, wait a second. I've been doing this like for 7 years. But that's how into doing it and the climb and getting where I wanted to go that I didn't even look at how far I had gone. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I literally woke up one day and I was like, wait a second, I'm here. How'd that happen?
Okay. You and I have talked about just doing something simple for a game.
Uh-huh.
And I've thought about it. I really have. And I completely agree with you. There's only one thing I want to do with that. There's one person. And the only reason they're
Could you quit being so big? There are people listening. I'm sorry, I get your codes, they don't.
well, yeah, there's only one person whose opinion matters when it comes to it. You know whose opinion that is?
The person whose name's on it at the end of the motherfucking thing was gonna get all the hate if it sucks. I say that being a professional artist. Right?
Right? Right?
So I can tell that I can tell where you are right now. When you're manic, you are sad. Everything is dramatic and everything is just the end of the fucking world. I lost one. And you have a hard time focusing.
I've never been really hurt from books. I know.
Well, I didn't know who wanted to talk about that, but I feel like all over the place tonight, so I felt like they deserved at least an explanation.
Well, you know, everybody should know how I'm very
No, let's be honest. Everybody's been struggling for the last month and a half, 2 months, like really struggling hardcore, and that's why we haven't been streaming.
more. And just
We're getting through it. We're doing what we can, and we're taking it day by day. You know, that's all you can do.
I know.
I know. I'm surprised you're not getting mad at me for pointing out your patterns to you this time. Okay. Hey. Oh, I got you good today. You thought you had me.
What? Because I want to dye my hair green?
No, she goes to the grocery store, or she goes to the store to get a few things. And she comes back and what did you give me? Green hair dye. Okay, first off, I don't dye my hair green because the yellow mixed in the green makes me look look like I have jaundice, even though it's really pretty green, and I might just try it. You never fucking know. And I'm feeling kind of like, I don't know, you and Lonnie are like kicking on me. What do you mean? Oh, Lonnie and I was brushing Lonnie's hair the other day, and she comes over to me and she brushes my hair back from my head, from my eyes, and she's like, Granny, you're turning gray. And then you're bringing me hair dye. I'm like, oh, God, is that like a ant, assholes? I think it's fucking cool. I got like these white horns.
You know, I almost grabbed the silver hair dye.
No, see, the thing is that I always wanted to gray like tournament, and that's how it's doing. And for the first time in my life, I'll be a natural blonde before I know it. I am cool with the gray hair. I don't fucking care. I earned this shit. And well, the good thing about being a redhead is that instead of getting that fuzzy granny gray that you don't know what to fucking do with, your hair turns silver to silver. I mean, look, it is silver.
It is. I will tell you what I was thinking when I saw the jade green hair dye. It said jade green. What do you think I'm thinking at that point?
Mom's hair needs to be this color.
Mom might actually like this.
Yeah, it's just a little heavy. I don't know. And it's still my favorite stuff.
Yeah, I still gotta.
I'm still looking for pieces for the girls. Haven't decided yet which color of jade they're gonna get.
I got one of those white too.
Yeah, they're looking good. I found a rainbow one. A rainbow mental box. Yeah.
I know which other people like that one.
Yeah.
She'd die if you did that.
And I think I need to switch up my look for the other one and kind of thing. And I think it needs to be orange. And the orange green is actually really pretty. If you get a good quality of it, it's a really pretty orange.
I just want to look that out.
But you gotta be careful with blue jade because some people sell Kasami instead of blue jade
Yeah.
because they're very similar in composition. And it's okay. It's okay to not be okay.
You sure?
No, you need to be fine right now. Do it. 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 There you go. She did it. Okay.
You got one pop up in the air like, yep, I did it.
Okay, so if you're happy all the time, that's a mental illness, isn't it? So do you want another mental illness on top of all of the ones you've already got? Nobody is happy all the time. And sometimes the weight of things gets to you. And you've got to sort it out. What you need to decide is that that's not where you live in that space for a while, get comfortable with it, understand it, pick it apart, understand why you're there, and then move the fuck out.
You know what? I think I haven't done that.
Because you're finally waking the fuck up.
No, it's been awful fucking
No, so that's the only reason you're not mad at me.
No, like, my day has been like really awful.
Well, maybe that's fine. You know, the universe is not
But ready to go have another
keep looking for Rod Serling, but he ain't around.
God damn it. Somebody needs to buy her a cutout of Rob Serling.
Dude, if somebody showed up at my house hiding out behind the neighbor's tree dressed like Rod Serling, I would fucking wake the fuck out. I'd be like, I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it, motherfucker. And I'd be running out there trying to take a picture of say, I fucking knew it.
Somebody should totally do it.
That or Alfred Hitchcock with all my birds sitting in the front yard. I'd be like, nope, I ain't even fucking going out there. Fuck you. Oh, yeah, no thank you. No, this world is not the right now. So it's perfectly understandable not to feel okay.
Well, you know, that's Saturn. Not Saturn. I think it's Saturn's retrograde.
Yes, quit fucking blaming retrograde on shit. Life fucking sucks. Get used to it. I know that sounds cold-blooded, but the quicker you get to understand that life fucking sucks, the quicker you'll get to fucking appreciating the good times a hell of a lot more than you do now. And then you will look for a way to create those good times. Out of nothing. Why do you think I used to always grab you guys walking back to the car from the grocery store? I'd grab you and spin you around and hand you back to the car. You remember that shit, don't you? But you don't remember we were grocery shopping, do you? Exactly. Those are the things that you remember. Those are the things that you hold on to. It's not the big, gigantic things. They tend to lose their meaning. Because then you're moving on to the next big goal. So it becomes behind you and a small mountain when you've got a larger one in front of you. Whereas the little things are the things that got you over that fucking mountain.
Yeah.
Confucius was a very wise man. Let's just put it that way. And the world is so fucking very simple, but we choose to complicate it. And well, this is your soul rejecting your reality right now. So this is an opportunity for you to look and see what it is that isn't metric. And then you need to decide what you're going to do about it. Either fix it or get rid of it. And if it's just me upset, you have a nice dream. I'm kidding. I know that went really dark really fast. I was just kidding. Now she's gonna be all sad all night. My mom's gonna die someday. I don't know when, but it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's inevitable. I mean, I can't. Oh, you know what they were? I was watching this thing. I got a funny for you. You know how they have people cryogenically freezing themselves so they can be unfrozen, but they can find out a cure for whatever the disease they died of is. Well, they're finding out that they're not going to be able to revive them because they've been damaged beyond repair. And contrary to what everybody believes, Walt Disney is not frozen under Disneyland. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny because now you think about Futurama and be like, yeah, these zombies. That means that Fry is a zombie. That's why the things that eat your brains can't find any. He absorbs them into his brain. Yeah, no.
Goodness.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite. I know y'all can't see it, but just trust me.
If you want to see some pretty awesome photos, check out Heavy Whisker Photography.
Yeah, my Instagram has been dead for years. It's fucking killing I think it's sad every time I try to post to it.
Why?
And I think I got shadow banned on there because of Facebook. Motherfucker, dude. I don't even know who the fuck that was. I was like, who the fuck are you and why are you even here? I'm not even friends with you. What the fuck?
You got shadow banned.
Yes, because some asshole decided to go back a year and mean face all of my posts for a year. And so they shadow banned me because, well, obviously if somebody thinks that everything is a mean face on my fucking page, I must be the devil. She's a devil. She's a devil. You can't let her spread her message to nobody.
Oh, that was a lot. Did I tell you about how I wasn't allowed to comment for like 10 days?
Yes, but God, dude.
That shit was fucking hilarious. I was like, oh my god, why am I not allowed to comment? So I ended up sending a lot. Okay.
Hey, it's all good. I know what it's like to have people want me to want to have people shut you out real quick because I used to be on debate. And I was always the first, when we had the option to get rid of people, I was always the first person they got rid of. My dad was a lawyer. I could argue either side equally. And I'm also a Libra, and supposedly Libras can see both sides of the coin, and I guess it's true. Or maybe it's just because my dad's a lawyer and he had to do that for what he does, so therefore I was taught how to do that.
Yeah.
That's why people think I'm indecisive. It's not that I'm indecisive.
Well, you're very interesting.
I'm weighing all of my options. And if I don't like them, I won't choose anything.
I'm learning.
Well, it takes time, honey. You further than, thinking about me when I was your age, yeah. You're still dumb. Wait till you're about 35, then you'll start to get. Maybe. Some people it doesn't kick in until you're about 40. That's why I said life don't start till 40. Y'all don't even know. See, I figured a way to do it. I'm actually 10 years old, not my real age, because life starts at 40. That was just a trial run. Now I get to do it right.
You know, too fun.
What?
It's the kid.
Well, you should. You are still a kid. Fuck. I look at fucking 35-year-olds and I'm like, you're still just a baby. They're like, what the fuck are you talking? You're still just a baby. Trust me. Wait 5 years, then come talk to me.
Okay, I gotta tell you about the conversation I had with my older brother. We actually had a really decent conversation about life. And how life kicks you when you're down. And he was,
I have a rebuttal for that, but we'll go.
well, he was telling me about some of the stuff that has kicked me down pretty far. And I keep telling him that he's only 5 years past if that's what he allows. Because granted, yes, I'm still kind of in my past because I allow it.
I have a rebuttal for that too, but we'll keep going.
Well,
Okay, stop and think about it for a second, okay? What was the first one? was the first one.
Remember. Like I said it. I know we said it. I forgot what you said.
It's just because I put you on the spot.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, the whole thing about being tied to your past, you know why you're tied to your past? Because there's something you won't let go of. Be it guilt, be it something you felt you should have done, something you wish you hadn't done. It's something that you're carrying with you, and that is what's holding you back. Because that will always pop up. And oh, I know what it was. Life always kicks you when you're down. No. You know what happens? We're going to get all psychological here. You know what happens? Your brain is this amazing computer, and it processes its input. So when bad things start happening to you, what do you start seeing? Okay, let's try it from the opposite. Good things are happening to you. Okay, that guy you like asked you out. You got the fucking raise you've been wanting. You got your fucking whatever it was that you wanted so bad. You're walking down the street and everything is just alive, and you see beautiful little bees and flowers, and you notice all the little beautiful things, right? Because you're happy, and that's what your brain is wired to see. Things that make you happy, right? So when bad things are happening to you, what are you wired to see? So what you're going to do when you're in a bad spot is you are going to zero in on every little negative thing going on. Just like those little flowers with the bees, you're looking at all of the little shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And you get stuck there. You know what they say, and I've said this before, and I will say it again, and I practice it when I'm really ticked off sometimes, and it does work, that if you can force yourself to smile when you're really upset or sad, it triggers the dopamine to make you happy, and it will actually make you happy just by smiling. That's why sometimes, why are you smiling like that? Because I really want to rip your head off, but I don't want to.
The other thing that I might have talked about too is my ECT.
Mm-hmm.
And ECT homes, like, they've come a long way from where it used to be.
Oh, yeah. You'd have been lobotomized by now. If it was the 50s, you'd have been lobotomized by now.
You know what I think is really cool?
You're not lobotomized yet.
No, hear me out. Hear me out, okay?
You know how I do it. It's just a little quick poke right there.
I'm going to
You
ask.
just lift your eyeball out the way a little bit. Just like it's in a frog.
I'm going to ask you to see which how that works. No, you know,
You know why they did it through the eye? Because that is really how they did it.
alright.
Do you know why they did it through the eye? Because you can go through the eye without damaging it and get to the brain. You can have go through the ear or the mouth without damaging it, and it stops you from having to open up the brain. And yes, they did used to put a spike through your fucking eye. Well, they put it right where your tear ducts are, and go around the eye, and they would poke it into your brain and kill you. Because what they're doing is they're killing a part of your brain to get your brain to function properly, but it basically turned you into a zombie. No, they probably have a much easier procedure these days. It's probably all done with lasers these days. Just don't move. least a final destination to move. Okay, I say that having seen laser eye surgery and having to try to collect a sharps container without making any noise or disturbing the doctor doing it, because if he moves in the wrong way, everything is fucked up. And it grossed me out. I couldn't do it. I was like, no, anything with the eyes, man. I've seen people's hearts beating. I've seen their legs flayed open. I've been chased around with a fucking amputated leg, gangrene amputated leg, gross fucking motherfucking shit. That smell is something I will never forget in my life. But I could not handle watching them do shit to people's eyes. And you're wide awake when they do it. You have to be. Although the creepiest thing was talking to the dude while I was looking at his brain. I was like, dude, yes. I wanted to touch it so bad. Like, what did it feel like? I refrained. I didn't do it.
Well, let's actually talk about this.
Amazing self-control, because man, I so was like, just wouldn't even feel it.
Do you know how I felt last week when I was getting the court place?
Yeah.
Okay, I was scared at first because I was like, oh goodness, they're gonna have to poke me with the needle in my neck.
Yeah.
And I was actually absolutely terrified. And I remember asking the person who was going to do it when I got on the operating table and stuff.
What are you mad about, dog?
Jesus, seriously, make me remember too.
Dave sure is doing the thing she does to the sport ball in her sleep. This is like the weirdest dog. It's like, okay, I've been trying to retrain Ilford on a few things because he needs some help with it, and I use a squirt bottle to get his attention. He's not afraid of water, and when I squirt him, it gets his attention because he'll come and drink the water. And that's redirecting him from what's going on, and if that's how I've got to do it right now. And Hope halfway loves the water and halfway hates it, so she'll like mean puppy it, like and bares her teeth at you and then jumps at you and then slings the water out of it.
She does the same thing.
And then halfway through she starts attacking you again. She's like, no, fucking water, fucking no, I'm thirsty, no mind.
You know, it's even funnier like
Yeah, I've never raised a dingo, so I'm kind of at a loss.
She might have fell.
Dude, I thought it was bad with Coda. I thought it was so fucking smart. This dog, man, I don't know how this is gonna work. I have a feeling she's gonna roll loose because she's just that fucking smart. Yes. She's having it. Your puppy man?
Aww. That's sweet. That was really sweet.
But hey, I think we should probably call it at something like they're gonna want to fill out and we should let people lay down. And we're both kind of winding down. Yeah.
We hope you all had a wonderful night with us tonight. And we
We didn't learn shit. We never learned shit. We hope you learned shit. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
either way it goes, we hope you guys had a wonderful night with us tonight. Hope to see you again soon.
I love you. Good night.
Good night. Bye, everybody.